Hello and welcome to this vlog. My name's Kat. I run Looks by Kat and I'm gonna start making another vlog. The plan is that there is no plan really. Right now I've just kind of started on a little haunter in this purple yarn because someone on Instagram wrote a DM to me suggesting a haunter and that inspired me, so now I'm gonna do a haunter. I've done a little hand. Little creepy hand, and I'm gonna make another one of those and then continue on with the body, I think, and then we're gonna see how Haunter's gonna turn out.
Block stitching is like you do it on the same fabric as cross stitching, but you can do stitches up and not down. Skeleton mount for Mr. Bones, which is mats.
I'm considering maybe doing like a purple theme because there are a lot of purple Pokemon in Gen 1, apparently. I haven't made a lot of purple Pokemon yet, I think, and that's kind of a mistake because I really like purple. And I have a lot of purple yarn too. So I think we might do like a purple theme. Right now I'm working on like the single crochet rounds of Haunter. So I just wanted to tell you how I wanted to design him. One of the biggest things is that I want him to have his tongue sticking out. That's just like an iconic pose for him, and I think it's gonna make my life easier too regarding the mouth. I think I'm gonna make like a small wide black piece and like crochet it into this piece and then sew the tongue onto that, so it isn't just straight out of like purple, just a tongue. I wanted it to be from inside the mouth or something. I hope it's gonna work out, otherwise I'm not gonna do it. I added a little mouth for him. It looks weird right now, but I think with like the tongue and when everything's together, something like that, I think it's gonna be good because I don't want it to be like wide open, so I kept it on the smaller side. I think when we get some teeth in here, I tried doing them like right on there, but they kept not working out right. So I think that I'm gonna make just a row of like teeth things afterwards, just from the top, because the tongue's gonna cover the bottom, so that's not really necessary. I'm gonna make the tail on its own and sew it on because the mouth made it difficult to make him in one piece, so I don't want to do that.
Being in an office where people would just be rude about being sick and then wouldn't leave me alone to do my work, and it was a lot. It was very overwhelming. I would try them. I probably wouldn't get them.
I finished his little head part. It's a trust the process kind of stage. He needs like a tail going out this way. He needs a tongue to make this mouth look anything good. He also needs like his teeth and eyes and all that stuff. He also has like horns out the sides. I think he has 3 on each side, so it's gonna be annoying. But it's a trust the process kind of stage at the moment. I took a little break, and then I started again, but forgot that I was recording. Newbie mistake. I got this far. So we have some spikes, and of course both the hands and a little tail. I also added little teeth here in the mouth. But now we will only actually be needing eyes and the tongue for him. So I'm gonna start working on the tongue. So I'm just gonna sit here, my little crude mug with a cup of tea, and crochet a bit and watch some YouTube videos. And hopefully we'll get Haunter done.
Bucket hats. She has a tutorial on her channel. She also sells. We made this many scrunchies.
This is how it turned out. And the lighting isn't great right now because it's late and dark outside. But I'll show him more tomorrow, I think. I really like him. He turned out nice. Very scary like. Hi. It's the next day. As I promised you, I was gonna show you the haunter in a bit of better lighting. I think he turned out really great. And I especially like how the hands turned out. Usually they're floating. Very hard to do in crochet. So I just sewed them on by like a little piece, and I think from the front it looks just fine. If you can hear, it's thundering. I can't do much about that. Next up, I wanted to do a grimer, continuing the purple. To get these like rolls of goo, I wanted to experiment something with like colors. So I'm planning on doing this. I'm using these two colors, where this is like the roll thing and this is like the main body color. I made a little test swatch. This is nothing really, it's just around to test out if I could make these ridges work. But yeah, they have a little edge. I have no idea if that's visible, but they do have a little edge, and I think it's gonna look nice in a grimer. And this is how far I've come. So we have like a little head here and a mouth goes here. I'm thinking of afterwards, since we have these little ridges here, of just single crocheting around on these darker patches to make them bulge out a little more. Now I'm past the annoying part of shaping the face. Of course you need like a mouth going down here, stuff like that. But shaping the face is basically done. So now he only needs to like continuously get bigger. Finished the body of Grandma, and then I made his mouth too. And I think the mouth really pulled it together. And I think he just looks so happy and like he doesn't really know what's going on. And I think that's perfect. As you can see, the mouth is crocheted. I usually only make all my pieces in crochet. I don't use felt or anything like that. At best, I will do safety eyes if I think that that specific Pokemon would benefit from it. Something like Seel, who just have black round eyes. I use safety eyes for him because I just thought it fit him a lot better. But stuff like Hunter, for example, he would not benefit the same way from safety eyes compared to just actually crocheting them. You could argue that the eyes, maybe in the mouth and the tongue, could be made like felt. And I agree with you. It probably could. A lot of people actually make those changes and go and use felt instead of the crochet details I make. The reason for me wanting to crochet as much as possible is not because I don't like the look of felt or anything like that, but now it's just part of my thing and I don't really want to change it, at least not at the moment. It's really just a preference, and I want to make things work in crochet rather than, in my opinion, taking a shortcut and just using something else. It kind of takes away from my own little challenge. So I'm not saying it's cheating, of course. I'm just saying it would feel like I was cheating myself of getting the look right with the materials I put out myself. Usually I want my pieces to not have anything extra unless they actually desperately need it. This would be like wiring, safety eyes, extra stability in any sort of way. Grandma got like a cardboard insert here. I could have made him with 2 bottoms, but it's a big round bottom. And I wasn't really up for doing that. And I knew that this is just gonna be a showpiece. It's gonna sit on a shelf. It'll just look better with this insert. But of course it will not be washable. It'll not be as playable for like kids if you're making it for a kid. I will offer alternatives for these things. If you don't like that option, just don't use it. Just use felt or something else. That's totally fine. I don't judge you. Now, I'm gonna not use felt. I'm gonna make him some eyes and some arms. I have bad lighting, but other than that, we've finished all the pieces of a grimer. And I sewed on the eyes. He's missing pupils, of course. Right now I am gonna slip stitch around in the loops of the darker color just to give them a little more definition so he's not so smooth, but he gets like little bumps. I think that'll elevate it quite a bit. So I'll do that before I sew everything together. Then I'll sew everything together and I'll show you tomorrow when there's actually light for it. Good morning. It's the next day, and as I promised you, I wanted to just show you the little grimer we made. And this is how it turned out. I don't know if I said it, but I ended up slip stitching around the extra loops that was on the darker parts of it. And I think that did give him some nice definition. And I really liked how the mouth turned out. The eyes turned out nice, and the hands. I really like how he turned out. Next up, I wanted to continue on the little purple vibe we've been going on. And I remembered I have a whip, actually, in purple. That whip is Ekans. So we have like a little cobra thingy and a head. So put them together like that, we basically have a start of a snake. So I need his body. Fairly simple, I'm hoping. I am planning to do some turning rows to get like the front curving. I would rather use that over like half double crochets or something because that fabric just won't be as tight. So I've been working on this for maybe like 15-20 minutes, and I realized that past me has made mistake or didn't write something down. Something's off. I'm supposed to have 24 stitches and I have 18. I don't know what has happened there. I'm guessing I just decreased an extra round without writing it down, because why would it be necessary to write it down? And then I abandoned the project. I finished this little art book, but I am gonna have to redo the whole thing. I like the curve I got here. I used short rows like I did in the neck. But after doing that, I realized that I don't want to make the snake part any smaller. but I do need this to be bigger to size-wise make sense, I think. When you look at it, it's just a little small, and honestly, I don't want to just have it off if I can see it's off from the beginning. So I'm gonna redo it. I'm gonna start it from the tail end this time and work my way up to this part. This way I can see how big this is supposed to be compared, a bit easier. And I think it's easier to work up that way either way. So I think it's a win-win. To do that, I'm just gonna do the pattern I've written down in reverse, meaning that I go from the last round to the first round, and every increase is basically just a decrease and vice versa. And that should add up pretty neatly, hopefully. We'll end up with something like this, just bigger head and a slightly longer tail. At this point when I made the tail, I knew I wasn't going to keep it, but I didn't want to frog everything, because this can be like a cute little Cobra toy for some kid. I usually donate toys that I don't want to keep because I don't really have anything to do with it. So this will still like be assembled as a Cobra and just shipped off as that rather than an Arbok. I think also yesterday I said he was called Ikens. Of course, this is Arbok, not Ikens. But I'm gonna do that, redo him basically, and hopefully I'll get that done today. It's about 8:30 p.m. and then I can show you finished Arbok hopefully tomorrow before we end the vlog. And if you didn't see, I published a Charmander pattern. Just a little shameless plug. A little fiery tail, cute little blue eyes, and he will get a Squirtle buddy and the Bulbasaur that I've made in the first vlog a couple weeks ago, I think. I'm gonna finish that, and then those patterns are coming out very soon after this vlog at least. So yesterday, as you saw, I think, I got this far. I also made like the smaller pieces, like the eyes, stuff like that. And then I went to like put it together, and I just really quickly looked at a picture of Arbok, and it's not like hollow. I tried to make it work. I tried to put the things in here and make it look good. It doesn't look very good. So I'm gonna have to redo this flary part. Right now it's basically a ball that I pushed in on itself. Doesn't work apparently. Instead, I'm gonna increase out to the sides so we get more of like just a round shape but not a ball shape. So I'm gonna take away all of this, more or less, and just structure the increases so they're at the sides rather than all around. Yay. Okay, I worked for 2 hours maybe, and I got to this point, and I am pretty happy with it. So we got a little snake, he got his little flare face, got his little normal face. He's nice. With that, I'm gonna say thank you so much if you watched all the way to the end. The patterns for all of these will be available for free at my website at some point. When they go live, I'll of course link them in the description. It'll probably be a few months. We have some other patterns lined up. If you would like to see more from me, please subscribe and like the video. It tells YouTube that it's worth watching. Bye.